Well, hello. Welcome back. Good evening. I'm Professor McCoy, and I'm not as late as I thought I'd be. I do have a technical issue. My necklace is backwards, but so if you'll forgive me while I change that out. But anyway, as I said, thank you so much for joining me. It seems like I resolved my technical issues much quicker than I feared I would. So we're all set at just about on time. I'm a minute late, so not worth mentioning. Anyway. All right. So, thank you all once again for joining me. We're back tonight to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. Last week, we finished up on Telos, on Citadel Station, and then down onto the surface of this ruined planet being restored, etc. And now we are on, outwards, to the greater galaxy. We're heading out to... first stop, I think, should be Nar Shaddaa, the Smuggler's Moon. So let's load in, and then we'll make that decision officially. I believe that Nar Shaddaa is where most of our lightsaber components are, so we can go from sword to proper lightsaber, because, I mean, it's a Star Wars game. You're playing a Jedi. What's the point if you're not using a lightsaber? I know, I'm being a... yeah, see, here we go. Upgrade items can't be used in the original creation. That's annoying. Alright. I found a fixture for the energy cell, but still need the emitter and lens fixture. Okay. Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Nar Shaddaa is the first place to go if you want to get a lightsaber as quickly as possible in this game. I could be mistaken. There could be other ways of doing it. There could be some stuff on Dantooine. I don't know where else. Maybe Korriban. But they are... yeah, it does seem like Nar Shaddaa is the place to go. So, yeah, so, here we go. Yeah, Master Vrook traveled to Dantooine, Master Vash went to Korriban, Master Zez-Kai-El went to Nar Shaddaa, Master Kavar went to Onderon. Alright, so those are our... Oh, and then of course Dantooine... Oh, Master Vrook traveled to Dantooine. Wasn't he on Dantooine? I don't know. So... hopefully we're going to convince them all to gather on Dantooine. Let's have a chat with everybody
Hey,
first.
General, are you all right?
I know there was a lot of talking at the end of last stream. There was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of cutscene talking as well. But might as well start off making sure that everyone on the crew is settling in quite well, because I actually really like the crew in this game. I don't know. Individually, I don't know if I like them more than the crew from KOTOR 1. I really like the crew from KOTOR 1. But they're dynamic. Their sort of interactions... excuse me, their interplay and interactions with each other are definitely a step up in this game. What are you talking about?
You look like you've been standing too close to one of my shield generators.
Are you sure you haven't been chewing on power cables?
Whoa. Claws out today, aren't they?
Now, whose claws are out? Really? We're being this sassy right off the bat? Alright, fine.
Seriously, you don't look that way from spending extra time in the fresher. I've seen other Jedi, not many but a few, who look like that. And I feel a little strange around you. A little more in control. Calm. Like I usually only get when I'm repairing something.
When one's in touch with the Force, it can manifest itself visibly.
Was there something you wanted me for?
What's your opinion about the Telos situation?
If the Republic would just rein Zerka in, there'd be no problem. But as long as Zerka is allowed to undermine the Ithorians' efforts, Telos will remain dead. I can't take seeing my work being used by those bloodsuckers. But there's nothing I can do about it, so let's talk about something else. Something else I can help you with?
I mean, we did do a number on Zerka. But not enough, I guess. Where'd you pick up that remote anyway?
That old thing? I built him when I was a kid. Been following me around for years now, despite what I've done to try and chase him off. Hey, just kidding. I'm happy to have you around.
What's it do, other than follow you around?
He helps me out with repairs. I outfitted him with a cutting laser and some other tools for delicate modifications. He's also good for singeing the pants of annoying techs.
I love his beep boop sequence.
I've been thinking about doing some other work on him, but I barely have time. Too busy fixing up the ship. Something else I can help you with?
I mean, there is scaffolding in here. You have any shields I could use?
Sorry, General, I'm flat out. I'll see if I can make some more when I get a chance. Something else I can help you with?
Alright. I'm not going to ask about the arm. I'm assuming that's a sensitive subject, so let's call it for now. I also have to assume that the force spike is probably getting in the way of your work, but you know better than I do. Alright. Let's see, who else can and should we talk to? Let's check on HK, because we have a part we could install. Older, more corroded than one of Paragus. Alright, let's initialize the control cluster. We've installed the droid's control cluster. Alright, that's all for now. All we can do at the moment. Let's see if, first of all, if there's anybody in the cargo hold like last time. We had a stowaway previously. Nah, nothing. And then let's check on Kreia.
You have grown strong in the Force. I can feel its touch upon you. Do not let the higher mysteries blind you to others. Turning away from that which tempts you or causes you fear is not strength. Facing it is. I have seen you display many acts of mercy, charity in our journey. Why?
There's enough suffering in the galaxy. If I can alleviate it for one person, then I've made a difference.
Even if it weakens those you help, even if it robs them of the strength needed to grow, you have been chased, hounded since our first meeting, and it has only made you stronger, more capable.
I think you're wrong. So this is actually a point against, like, a major counterpoint to Kreia here. Because Kreia's idea here is that adversity breeds strength, that we only grow when we are challenged. But there's a counterpoint to that. We do, as human beings, it's sort of part of our sort of probably innate psychology is that we have to grow to face challenges. Oh gosh, excuse me, I need more of this coffee to talk about this. But we will grow in the face of challenge out of necessity, right? And it's primarily because we have to. It's not like we will grow and face challenges when there are no challenges. Not, at least not usually. Like, sometimes we will go out of our way to grow and to develop ourselves and all that, but typically we grow the most when we have to, which is just, I think part of what Kreia is missing is that is not what causes us to grow and cause us to develop. We are growing, we are developing. The causality is coming from within us. The adversity is merely an occasion. It is a reason we have for putting in the effort that we could have anyway. And I actually learned this quite a good deal like when I was learning martial arts as a kid, growing up. Which is that you don't need to be forced to learn something. You just have to do it. You have to be willing to do it. And it was a way of learning to push past psychological limitations. Because we all think we have these. There are limitations that we all think we have. And in a lot of cases, pushing through those limitations is a factor of having to do so. But if you don't have to do so, a lot of times we won't push past them. Whether that's strength limitations, whether that's endurance limitations, whether that's even intellectual limitations. Oftentimes, when we don't push past them, it's because we don't have to. We're not challenged. However, you can still push past self-imposed limitations, even if you don't have to do it, even if you're not in a position where you're being forced to. If you are willing to, if you choose to, if you choose to go beyond what you have thought you were capable of, and this was a sort of mantra from some of my teachers. Can't means won't. That if you say I can't do it, what you're really saying is I won't do it. I've chosen not to continue doing this. At least most of the time. I mean, sure. There are some instances where we can't do something. I cannot leap a tall building in a single bound, whatever. Fine, I can't do Superman stuff. But if asked, can I don't know, can I keep running for that extra mile? Or can I maintain that stance for that extra minute? Very difficult tasks, don't get me wrong, but usually if I say I can't do it, what it means is I'm giving up. It hurts, it's difficult, it's painful, etc. And so, now, worth noting, sometimes those limitations are there for a reason, right? Even psychological. It's that if you keep pushing yourself too far and too consistently, you will hurt yourself. The trouble is knowing intellectually, and a good teacher knowing as well, when it is that you can safely push past those limits and under what circumstances. You can definitely overexert yourself and hurt yourself in exercising. However, if you don't push yourself when exercising, you're not going to get anything accomplished. You're not going to grow. You're not going to develop. And yeah, adversity can be something that forces you past those limitations, or provides you an opportunity to surpass those limitations, but you can do that. And so it's a case where the adversity being imposed upon us is not actually necessarily helpful. It is forcing us to do what we could have done anyway, but maybe didn't want to. But doing so, that is growing in this way, would have been easier to accomplish, would have been more viable in a less threatening, more nurturing kind of environment. In an environment where there is somebody helping you along, catching you if you fall, etc. Right? Not holding you up, not doing it for you, but someone who is there to make sure that you're doing it safely, correctly, etc. Right? So, helping people can almost never hurt them. The exception to this is, of course, when you get someone to utterly rely on you, which is where we get with things like dependency traps, and especially in like social welfare programs, that kind of thing, where you get someone to psychologically depend on you, or even materially, and then you can basically manipulate or control somebody by providing conditions on your formerly unconditional help, that sort of thing. Which, I mean, yeah, that's a problem, but only if you're, evil or the government. And yet, I repeat myself. So, no, Kreia, I think you're wrong.
Ah, then you have learnt nothing. From such small things, from such critical points, the universe and its masses may be moved. That is why you must be careful in all that you do, and in every choice you make. Aiding them gives you strength by taking on their challenges, but weakens them. If that is your choice, then use their dependency, feed upon it, until you have exhausted them. Then leave them. And I would view the ones you travel with much the same way.
I love how she tries to make altruism out to be some kind of make altruism out to be selfishness, and to be self-aggrandizement at the expense of others. It's so Ayn Rand. So Ayn Rand decried selfish or altruism. She said that altruism is necessarily wrong, and it is because it is a kind of giving up of oneself for the sake of somebody else. And by doing so, what you're either doing is really trying to help yourself, through either like indirectly, like Kreia was talking about, or you are acting in a self-destructive manner and making yourself not capable of helping in the future. And so even if your goals are to help, you're gonna fail. Something like that. That's a charitable enough reading, I think, of Rand's point. And Kreia is just reading straight out of Atlas Shrugged. Well, not Atlas Shrugged, more like, I guess, Atlas Shrugged, kind of. She's being very straightforwardly an objectivist to Ayn Rand's philosophical outlook. So. They're loyal companions, and I will not harm them.
So you may think, but it will be best to strike first. Your allies are allies by circumstance, and they will not hesitate to do the same to you if you continue down your path. Do you know why those we meet display such weakness? As I said, their lives are static, untested. It is only through interaction, through decision and choice, through confrontation, physical or mental, that the Force can grow within you. You have seen it. You have felt it within you as you have traveled with me. The growing anger, the rage, and the power it brings. Yet the power does not build without such struggle. Through small cruelties, greater ones are born.
That is explicitly dark side. Like, it should be painfully obvious that she is a Sith here. Like, I'm not spoiling anything by saying that she's a Sith. That is absolutely in every way contrary to what the Jedi teach. Oh, excuse me. Again, the Jedi teach that growth and the activation of potential, let's say, I'm in a Thomist mood. The growth that she's talking about can occur, and in fact occurs best and most effectively, most swiftly, and without the accompanying difficulties and dangers, in a state of peaceful, contemplative serenity, wherein we are introspective. We are analyzing ourselves, analyzing where and how we need to grow, and then growing into it. Again, it's directed within, where the Force guides us from within, which is again which ties in very closely to a Christian meditative practice of, who was this? Forget who said this, but the ideal of meditative or contemplative prayer is to find that place within yourself where God is actively creating you. Basically, find something like if you want to put it in more mundane terms, your origin point. Find who and what you are at your core, and how that is growing, developing, changing, and being augmented, changed, and growing. And so that's never mind, I'm going. Light side points gained, influence lost, Kreia, of course. Of course. Yeah, that sort of contemplative prayer is actually really... I am going to be yawning all night until I finish this coffee, this 3 cups of coffee, so I apologize. But that Jedi way of thinking is also very similar to classically Christian ways of thinking as well, which is, very interesting. It's the kind of thing that a lot of people would be perhaps surprised by. To find these Christian influences in what is otherwise a very Eastern feeling spirituality of the Jedi. It's very Taoist, at least in its aesthetics. But we see here that there's influences from across cultures, or at least similarities.
I don't know what it is, but you look different. It's hard to explain, but it's good to see.
Hard to explain, but even with everything that's happening, I feel at peace.
It shows. It's kind of inspiring, to be honest. Anyway, just wanted to mention it. I think the others have noticed it too.
I had some questions for you.
Alright, what did you want to know?
Care to explain where you got your Achani training?
Huh? What are you talking about?
When we entered the Telos Academy, you dropped into an Achani combat stance.
Oh, that. Don't tell anyone, but you wouldn't believe how many fights you can prevent by just pretending to know that stuff. I mean, it doesn't compare to wearing a lightsaber, but then again, that doesn't seem to help you much.
Don't change the subject.
Yeah? So what? I don't ask any dumb questions about your past, despite the fact that it keeps throwing us into life-threatening situations. Wanna know why?
You can.
I figure if you ever want to tell me something, you will. So give me the same respect, alright?
Alright, I'm not accusing you. I just want to know if you've got any other useful skills. You could be a real asset with combat training.
Well, hey, thanks. But you've got the wrong guy. I'm good at shooting people, cracking wise, and pretending to know how to fight with my hands.
Alright, never mind then. Okay, we gained and lost influence. Cool. Great. Oh, lordy. Alright. Telos. Paragus. Why are we on Paragus? Telos, Onderon, Nar Shaddaa, Korriban, and Dantooine. Let's go to Nar Shaddaa. Let's do it. This is Nar Shaddaa is, if I recall, the longest section of this game.
Well, here we are. The Smuggler's Moon.
So I might come and go.
It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer.
Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot.
How hard would it be to find a Jedi here?
It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. Finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in. Or find you once you arrive.
You sound like you've been here before.
Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice.
Alright, what's this refugee sector?
Not everyone who came to Nar Shaddaa were soldiers. A lot of worlds were destroyed by the Mandalorians. And the Jedi. Left a lot of people wandering the galaxy.
So there's lots of ex-soldiers on Nal Hutta.
Yeah. Some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers. So others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy.
Alright, how hard will it be to hide here?
Shouldn't be too hard. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in. Or find you once you arrive.
Alright. So I'm looking it up. Exactly where to find the lightsaber components. Get a component from an NPC called Lutra. You reunite him with his wife. Or you can just kill him. I'm not going to do that, though. That's evil. Then, once you hit 25% light or dark side, head back to the Ebon Hawk. Alright, easy peasy. Wow, I might actually be able to do that
plotted a course
quickly.
for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's gonna find us here.
You say that, and now we're about to go into a cutscene, proving you wrong. That's my guess. Or we're just going to land, never mind. I thought it was going to be one of those narrative ironies. That's cool. Yeah, Nar Shaddaa is one of the planets that I'm going to, I'm planning on using for our tabletop game, tabletop Star Wars game. As I've mentioned before, I think, the idea I have for the Star Wars tabletop is, it's basically, I'm following a lot of the themes and even some of the plot points of Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh. Bounty hunters. Sleazy bounty hunters. Oh, and HKs.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While she walks upon the smuggler's moon, she is not to be harmed. Observe her, track her, but do not eclipse her movements, or I shall eclipse yours.
Why must we watch? We have hunted them for so long. Now we must wait.
You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Goto's head is filled with madness. Zhug family hunt the galaxy, look for Jedi. Jedi finally comes here, and we can no longer hunt. There is no sense to it. If you wish to live, you should respect Goto's wishes. The beautiful Jedi has run for years. She will not stay on this moon forever. Bonk. Please do not. Let the Zhugs defy Goto after I've collected their bounty. You best leave threats unspoken, Han Harn. You were carried far from the world of trees, maybe too far. I hear you've not even collected the life debt from little red-manged human female. She'd make fool of you twice. If she crossed the Zhugs, she'd be very dead now. Goto or not, I will carve a bloody swath through your entire family, Zhug. I swear it to you.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
It would be unwise to commit violence here. Goto's order was clear. We are not to harm the beautiful Jedi while she walks on Nar Shaddaa. Stop! Unless we are attacked first, we are permitted to defend ourselves.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
This Jedi is different. Goto told us to leave the Jedi alone. It is true. But he said nothing of the Jedi's companions. Uh-oh. We're about to get tangled with.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Welcome to Nar Shaddaa. Towering buildings kilometers high and miles deep, with canyons so wide you could have a dogfight in them. Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours.
Miles? Wait, there's an Imperial system of measurement in Star Wars. I've never heard anything but metric used in Star Wars before. I can't believe I never caught that. That's really weird. Outer Rim weirdo, maybe? Now, that is not to say that the metric system is in any way superior to the Imperial system. I tend to like the Imperial system more, at least for most things. Especially sort of everyday, sort of human-type uses. A mile is easier to envision than a kilometer, at least for me. Maybe that's because I'm used to it. I'm not sure. But beyond that, also, things like distances and divisions between distances work so much better in the Imperial system, because you can divide by hand and by rough estimate and easy and accurate estimation, by 3 and by 2. You cannot divide easily by 5 or by 10. And so if I were to give you a meter of string and say divide this into centimeters, you'd have a hard time. But if I were to say, if you were to give me a yard of string and say divide this into inches, it'd be easy. I could do it. I could do it with nothing but a pair of scissors. Easy. Easy. You fold it into thirds. Over. You have a foot. Fold that into thirds. You have 3-4 inches. Fold that half inches. Done. Rinse and repeat. Meters, really hard. Try folding something into fifths. You probably won't be able to. Anyway. Imperial system, despite its weird numerical multiplicities, is actually very, very practical. Are we going to be okay on this landing pad?
Sure. Most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think.
Atten, are you insane? Okay, no. I'm sure it's fine. Because the Ebenlock looks a little exposed.
Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system.
Alright. Any problems with the docking authorities?
No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the Exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of.
And we're not, right? I mean, we are. We've got, Jedi. There's that, but, is this the refugee sector?
Yeah, in all its glory. Don't get your hopes up from what you see here, though. As soon as we hit the main sector, that's when the smell and the mobs can get pretty bad.
Great, let's move on.
All right, then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
I wouldn't mind getting some new equipment.
There should be a central trading hub up ahead. Their stock's probably not the best, but they may have some things worthwhile.
I was just looking for a place to lay low.
Then just being here should be enough. People in the refugee sector don't tend to ask too many questions. We should be safe enough.
I want to find out more about this bounty on Jedi, as long as it doesn't, attract more attention.
Well, that means finding either a bounty hunter, a ranking member of the Exchange, or someone willing to talk, none of which are too appealing. Bounty hunters in the Exchange are going to want to shoot you, and someone who is willing to talk to anyone, which means trouble.
The bounty is a waste of our efforts. All that matters is the Jedi. The intentions of the thugs of this moon are of no consequence.
It's up to you. There's bound to be someone in the sector willing to spill their guts for a credit or two.
Okay, yeah, but they might also rat on us. If Zez-Kal-El is here, I want to find him.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions. It makes detection difficult. But this moon does not get any smaller while we wait. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible.
Yeah, let's see where our path takes us.
Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad!
Hooray! In a moment, though, because, yeah, the other point about that is, yeah, we know that Zez-Kal-El was last seen, or at least had traveled to Nar Shaddaa. Okay, that's a planet. That's a whole planet. And it's an ecumenopolis. It is a city-wide planet, miles deep. To say that there are billions of people here is a wild understatement. The population of Nar Shaddaa has to be in the tens or maybe even hundreds of billions. Especially if it's like this. Now, it's a small moon relative to Earth, but it's still a city. the whole moon. It is also a sort of outward-facing capital, let's say, for the Hutt Empire, or the Hutts. Hutt Cartel, Hutt Empire, call them what you want, whatever time period we're in exactly. I'm not sure what they are right now, but the Hutts in general. It is the moon of their homeworld? I think it's their home. It's either their homeworld or their capital world. Forget if it's Hutta or Nal Hutta, which is which. But Nar Shaddaa is something like their doorstep, or their guest entrance, I guess. Think of it as if their actual homeworld, I think it's Nal Hutta, the actual planet, is only for Hutts and very specially invited guests. It's not for any old person who has dealings with them. That's what Nal Hutta is for. Nal Hutta is the vestibule, or to put it in liturgical terms, the narthex. It's the point where everyone can come in. Everyone is welcome, and everyone does in fact come in. You can look around you; it's wildly populated. To do business with the Hutts, and then they come from their sort of inner home, their home world, and they come out to Nar Shaddaa to greet. And then they go back, and Nal Hutta is the way that they want it to be. It's this disgusting, nasty swamp, which is perfect for these giant slug creatures. It's to me a really cool setup, and again, it's symbolically rich as well. It's great. Now we're talking here to a Toydarian. I'm not going to go with Force Persuade, because I've been told by somebody, I think a Toydarian, maybe one on Tatooine, that mind tricks don't work on them. So the Hutts told me I could land here.
Yeah? Well, this is the first I've heard of it. Hutts don't do business down there. This is exchange territory.
Times are changing. So should you.
I got a ship that's supposed to dock on this pad any hour now. What am I gonna do?
Divert it to another landing pad? I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, let's not bring Kreia, and I guess probably not T3. Yeah. Really? That got me dark side points. Was there another option? Fine, let's go. Actually, let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. I'm still like wildly on the light side, so that's fine. Oh hey. You wandered too far, human. We warned you what happened, but your kind not listen. Break legs, maybe you not wander so far.
No, look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in.
Know your place, human. Your place is there, not here. And another human. What are you looking at? What's going on here? Exchange business, human. Not for you seeing unless you want to lose your eyes. I won't let you hurt that man. Stay away from him. One human, not amusing fight. More than one human, a little better. Spill more blood. Whoosh!
More where that came from. More where that came from.
Okay. Credits. All right.
Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure.
Couldn't stand by and let them hurt you. Why were they hunting you?
Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his
Another
profits
Quarren.
by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately.
He sounds, again, another... This is another voice actor, just like Thursday, just like Kingdom Come, where we have a voice actor who sounds way, way younger than his character. What do you mean?
The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it.
Where can I find Visquis?
You don't. He comes to you. If he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing.
Alright, I was glad to help. Better head out of here before you run into any more trouble.
Whatever your reasons, thanks.
More light side points.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need?
Of course. Here, 5 credits.
Thank you, stranger. I won't forget your kindness.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring sand into his hands.
Sounds like you don't like sand. Here we go. Here's where we actually see Krea's line of thought sort of get its fair shot. So let's give her a try. Let's give her a try. Nothing is set. As long as there is hope, there's a chance for redemption every day.
And would that be a kindness? What if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another?
Does your pessimism run that deep?
The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see. By giving him something he has not earned, perhaps all you have helped him become is a target.
So giving him
Seeing
money
another
gets
elevated
mugged.
often brings the eyes of others who suffer. And perhaps in the end, all you have wrought is more pain. And that is my lesson to you. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than with a clenched fist.
Yeah, so again, the idea here is that... Okay, we should distinguish between types of causality here, because I'm a philosopher, and what we do is make distinctions, make maybe silly, dumb distinctions. So, to say that you are the cause of something occurring can be said in several different ways. The primary two that I want to look at is the proximate cause, which is the direct and immediate cause. So you are effecting a change in something else directly. It is both your intention and it is done by your actions. The other kind of cause is called either a but-for or a contributing cause. This is one where an outcome would not have happened but for your actions. If you hadn't done what you did, then the outcome would have been different. Like in Krea's hypothetical about the guy getting mugged, right? If I hadn't given him the 5 credits, then somebody wouldn't have tackled him to steal it. Okay, fine. However, ethically and legally, for that matter, contributing or but-for causes are non-culpable, necessarily non-culpable, unless they are grossly negligent or more, or higher. It's not enough for it to be unknowing like this, to be accidental, or even to be negligent to a sort of petty degree like this. No, the fact that he was mugged because we gave him money and trying to help was in no way our fault. It was the problem, of course, was the mugger. The mugger may have attacked him and may not have regardless. If he had not attacked this guy, he would have attacked somebody else who had credits. Again, harm would still have been done regardless of our actions. Our actions just changed the way that harm was directed, if anything. And again, it was not the effect, the actual immediate or proximate effect of our actions. It was rather something that happened further down the causal chain, in a sort of slippery slope manner. In a sort of, so there's how this ties in with like a slippery slope or a slippery slope fallacy, that sort of thing, is where you say, okay, if cause A happens, then effect Z will follow, even though from A to B to C to D to E, etc., there are a bunch of other contributing causes that have to go into play for Z to ultimately happen. This comes back to something I was talking about in class, like last week. We were talking about logic and argumentative fallacies and things. And it doesn't... The reason that a slippery slope is a fallacy is something like what Gray is pointing out. If I give the guy 5 credits, well, he could get mugged. Okay, yeah, that's true. But there have to be other contributing causes, and further, and most importantly, a proximate cause that is independent of our actions by giving him the money. And so it could happen that way. It could not happen that way. And whether it does or it does not happen that way is entirely dependent upon the actions and choices of others. And so it's in no way are we responsible for something bad happening to the guy, even if he would not have been harmed had it not been for our actions. Because he also might not have been harmed by our actions if we had given him the money and he had just avoided that guy in particular, that mugger in particular. He might have been fine. Perfectly well could have been. Again, it is not determined by our actions what happens, in other words. Hey, Phoenix. Catholic Phoenix says he won't get mugged because you gave the credits, so it's not related to the subject. I mean, in Krea's hypothetical at least, he would not have been mugged had we not given him the credits. Because somebody would have roughed him up and found that he didn't have anything and not knocked him out to take his money, right? Because he wouldn't have had money. Hey, fine, fair enough. But that doesn't mean that our actions are causally or morally responsible for him being mugged. Him being mugged was the cause, was the result, was the effect of the mugger mugging him, and that's it. The mugger might not have mugged him, might have acted differently if circumstances had been different, and we contributed to those circumstances. We only contributed to the circumstances, not to the actual effect that we're talking about. And that's a very important distinction, both ethically and even legally. I learned about all of this, and this is and I actually taught about all of this as well, in a unit that a professor of mine teaches on the ethics of blame. And he goes into, he uses a lot of examples from legal theory and sort of like model penal codes and things like that, which are actually very useful, because the law does not. Now, here's the thing: the law does not perfectly align with ethics, obviously, but it at least tries to base itself off of intuitive ethical principles. And this is one of them. This distinction between a proximate and a but-for or contributing cause. And so this is very important for ethics and for assigning blame and for even for determining whether your action is right or wrong, because if your action could result in something good happening, but it might result in something bad happening if somebody else does something bad, then what you've done is good, because your action by itself has good results, has good consequences, has good end. But it's somebody else doing something wrong that, sure, it is made worse by your good actions, their evil act. But if that can't be anticipated, then you have no reason not to do the good thing. I shall never stop trying to help others.
Very well, but mind what I have said. Use your power, but in its proper place.
Light side points gained. Influence lost. Kreia. I need a little, like, one of these, but for light side points gained, influence lost. Kreia. Because that is probably the most common pop-up in this entire game. Oh, a commoner. Check out the, Wonder. Ooh. Credits. Phoenix says, I've made a similar argument with euthanasia. Some people I've talked to can't tell the difference between palliative care and assisted suicide because the result is superficially the same. Yeah, I mean, both processes end with someone being dead, but there's an incredible difference in between what philosophers will often call active versus passive euthanasia. Right there's a difference between active euthanasia, that is, killing someone, administering drugs that will lead to someone dying, and withdrawing medical aid and applying palliative care, that is, pain management and such, which is not actively killing somebody. It is easing their suffering, making them hurt less, like physically, literally, while they naturally die. Again, I am TT32, the ENS model. And this is difficult for, honestly, this is difficult for modern minds to comprehend, because we suck at figuring out how causality works. And this is all David Hume's fault. Every bit of this is David Hume's fault. Now, okay, to be fair, let's ease off a little bit, because I blame David Hume for a lot of problems. Most problems, in fact, I attribute to David Hume. I might write a book someday, titled David Hume Ruined Everything. Subtitle, that Descartes hadn't already ruined for him. But this is definitely one, right? Because of Hume's alleged problem of induction and his elimination of teleology or final causality, or alleged elimination of final causality, this trickled down into not only the other philosophical literature, the modern philosophical literature following David Hume, but also into the sort of common ideas about the world. And so when we think of causes, right, when we think of cause and effect, what we think of is essentially, we think of correlation, which is why we have such a hard time identifying causes. And it's funny, when last couple of times I taught ethics, I actually had a really, really hard time getting students to start thinking in terms of intentions and distinguishing intent from distinguishing an intended end for an action and a known effect, a known side effect. So that a good example. Suppose I back over the neighbor's bike on my way out of the driveway. I saw it there. It's not like I didn't see it. I knew it was there, but I backed over it. There could be two perfectly coherent, albeit maybe ethically dubious, but still perfectly coherent reasons for me doing so. I could back over the neighbor's bike because that damn kid is always riding it through my lawn, and I want to teach him a lesson. That is intentional. That is deliberate. I am intending to run over the bike. On the other hand, I might be late for work, and I might back over it, knowing that my tires can take it just fine, and that if I get out to move it, I will be late, and I can't be late today. I still knowingly back over the bike, but it is not my intention. This is one of the hardest things for modern students to get their heads around. It's not the hardest, but it's very hard. It's very, very difficult, and it's because we don't think in those terms. We think that, oh, if something is a foreseen consequence of my actions, that must have been my intention. But it's not. That's absolutely not the case, and it should be obvious that that's not the case. Oh, you can make it Kingdom Come. All right, cool. I'll see you then. Hume again. That bloody. Oh, a bunch of words I probably can't say on YouTube without getting. I don't have to worry about being demonetized, but my stream might get taken down. It is all Hume's fault, absolutely. But anyway, yeah. That's anyway. Have a good one. Have a good Phoenix. See you Thursday. Unless the hurricane gets me. If the hurricane gets me or gets my power, then I maybe won't see you Thursday. But fingers crossed. Hopefully, it should be fine. But yeah, 30-second model. Yes, previous 31 models by Master Tien have met explosive ends or been shut down, unable to recharge. It's not Master Tien's fault. Simply forgetful due to his age and poor eyesight. Proud to have lasted this long. Explosive ends? Yes, many accidents have occurred here in the garage. Sometimes when equipment is used improperly, damage to droids or the surrounding environment occurs. Looking to buy some equipment. I'm afraid all transactions must be cleared by Master Tien. I'll be going. Thank you. What's this? A box. Immunity belt. What's that? Leave that Hydra spanner. Who's that? Someone in front of me? Raise your chin 5 degrees and rotate your head 15 degrees to your right. The darkness has fallen upon my eyes. A curse of age. What brings you here?
It's Beador, 12th Engineering Division, out of Eodoria. I worked with you in the hangar bays on the Solemn Oath.
Well, your features are unfamiliar to me, but the voice I remember. My eyes may be poor, but my hearing is still sharp. With the Jedi Civil War is over. Why is it you come to me now, with this other shape beside you?
Tien, we are already in trouble. In some ways, the war is not yet over, and our enemies seek us even now.
War? You bring up the war to use it against me? You know it's hard for me to speak denials when the requests are heard. Can you change the ship's ID transponder codes? Could I? Will I? Not legal. Frowned upon by government peoples and Botham stunners. Bad troubles for Tien. I can pay you for your time. It's not a matter of payment, it's a matter of equipment. Transponder cards are permanent once written. I have none. I would need the new transponder card you wish to use, or a blank card with an ID signature. Bring me this and we can discuss payment. Alright, any parts or equipment I can buy? Okay. It seems like this is all equipment mods, which is nice, but nothing I need. What about sell list? What can I sell? Ooh. Sell one of those. Longsword. Another longsword. I don't need those. Ooh, a Rhodian blade. Not upgradable. Sell those. The worse ion rifle. Alright, what about armor? Sell one of these. Lacks heavy armor. I don't need two of those. We'll sell one of them. Neural band. Sell one of those. Sell a couple of those. Let's see. Yeah. I can sell at least one more of those. I'm probably the only one who's actually going to make use of that. Back to armor, mark 1. Alright. Good enough. Sold a bunch of things. Thank you. Before you go, I was wondering if you can do me a favor. Come to my attention that my predecessor wasn't carelessly destroyed by Master Tien. What happened to him? After the last accident here in the garage, he was scrapped. He was then picked up by a junk dealer, a mechanical cannibal by the name of Codden. Filthy beast, large tusks, very unpleasant. What would you like me to do? I was wondering if you might be able to get him back, not for sentimental reasons, mind you. The utility droid in question has some plans of Master Tien stored in its memory core. The plans are really quite necessary to be retrieved. Plans? What? Yeah, glad to be of help. Let me go retrieve the droid from Codden. Oh, thank you. I know you are helpful sentient as soon as my photoreceptors focused on you. If you retrieve my predecessor's memory core, then I would be most appreciative. What does the droid look like? It's a small astromech droid, brown, a little battered, quite loyal. Designation is IT-31. Where can I find Codden? Main hub in the refugee sector, graveyard of poor droids around him. Please be careful, as Aqualish go, Codden is really rather nasty specimen. I'll be going. Alright. Sure, let's take care of that. What's all this then? Okay. Let's see. So we need to talk to Codden. We need to find Lorna. Lorna?
Hey, I saw that ship you flew in on. My ship.
Your ship? I'd lay off the spice if I were you. That's our ship, not yours.
Was I talking to you? I tell you, that ship's mine.
Can you prove it?
It's the Ebon Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars.
Oh, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's right, I forgot. Revan did steal this ship, and he stole it from a thief. He stole it from, oh, crap, what's his name? The guy on Taurus. The crime lord on Taurus. If you can prove the ship is yours, I'll give it back to you.
The registry's 34 P7JK. It's got a temperamental hyperdrive, and the turrets can be sluggish and unresponsive against fast-moving fighters. She's also got 2 secret compartments, one in the cargo hold, right near the plasteel cylinders in the back, and the second beneath the bunks in the starboard cabin.
Oh. Can I buy it from you?
No deal. A ship's worth its weight in spice on Nar Shaddaa, and nothing's worth being trapped here another year scrounging freight jobs.
If the ship's yours, I will return it to you.
What? It's our ship. I mean, your ship, that I fly.
Good to hear you aren't going to challenge it. That makes things a lot easier.
What are you doing? That's gonna trap us here.
Don't worry. Flying the Ebon Hawk is like painting a target on your forehead. I'm not doing him any favors.
I'll be going now. Get used to the solid ground beneath you.
Let me shoot him in the back. No one has to know.
Well, let's see. I'm sure this will turn out interestingly. I get a feeling that he's not going to wind up getting the ship, but we'll see. What's this then? Telling you it's all here. I told you 24 cases. What am I supposed to do with 2? You are going to pay for the 2, plus an ambush your double-crossing Neku will adorn my walls, quick. Ambush? Really? Oh, okay. Keep on alive. Guys, really? We're doing this? Oh my god. Okay. Oh wait, no, I already have speed up. I need healing. Sorry about her. I did not mean to let you just fall up dead. My bad. Help you out a little bit there, huh? Bushwhacked there. Alright. Ah, not bad, not bad. Alright. This is what happens when people attack us. We get blown up by a bunch of grenades, but we walk away from it just fine. Alright. Anyway. Unar. Look of a human who is looking for no credit junk deals. Yes, human. No cred junk here. Only good cred weapons, good cred armor. No cred line, only cred up front. Okay, we get it. Alright. I don't see any customers waiting. What do you know, human? I think business go elsewhere. No shoot a non-male Rhodian female? You're wrong. Calm down. I just said I didn't see any customers. What is cause of not seeing customers? I tell you cause. Non-male Rhodian female Gita. Snatch my business. Take it from me. I would pay good cred to see her gone dead. Brush her away like cargo crate. If she's hurting your business, maybe I could talk to her, reach a compromise? Cannot offer good cred, but shave credit off stock. Make good cred worth better cred. Make worth your time. Discount off your weapons and armor? Alright, sure. Done. You deal with non-male Rhodian female. Until you do, you receive no good cred, better cred deals with me. Go. Alright, maybe we can find this
Your
Rhodian
thoughts are
female.
disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you.
I feel this background noise, like a vibration.
It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare.
I love how that this game came out at barely right after Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, which was also on Nar Shaddaa. and they look remarkably similar. The environments look remarkably similar. 3,000 years apart. It's really quite something. It's really cool. It's a cool little consistency. The sound, the vibration is strange. Tense.
I'm surprised you can feel it. I fear the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force. Their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life.
The anger and desperation. Is there some way to heal it?
One might as well heal the universe, but such manipulation is possible, yes. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination.
Shatterpoint. I'm not interested in manipulation, just healing.
Have you learned nothing? Healing is manipulation, and if you do not realize it yet, then you will discover that an act of healing depends largely on your perspective. Manipulation is done through propelling events, or selected ones, into motion. It is done through teaching, through example, and through conviction. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth of what you believe, of hearing it echoed around you in life. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment, for as long as it will last. Feel life as it is, with the crude matter stripped away.
Force points increased. Nice. This is, first of all, there's that little itty-bitty bit of Jedi Gnosticism. But beyond that, a lot of what she had to say there is... oh gosh, what? That... It reminds me of the idiom...
I already paid the exchange what I have.
Give me a minute. We have not enough. Pay all. But we make a percentage by taking percentage of you back with us.
But I, oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time. Look, these gentlemen are getting impatient.
Give the rest of this nose. You've all owed now. Alright, before I get into this nonsense. You do. Give me all your credits. Let's go jump into the central pit. No, first of all. No. Second, though. So, what I was saying. It reminds me of the old idiom. I forget where this comes from, but what's normal to the spider is chaos to the fly. Right? Where she's saying that what constitutes healing is largely a matter of perspective. But it's not really. It's a matter of what you are healing. It's a matter of essences, which is another thing that the modern mind has such a hard time grasping. Such a hard time grasping what something is, essentially, in its essence. Because we tend to think like reductionists. We tend to think, well, what is the human person but a collection of cells, of organs and cells, and organelles within cells, and then it all really boils down to just matter in motion, right? But this reductionistic point misses entirely the substance, right? The thing itself, the body, that which is injured and requires healing. Right, so Kreia is saying, well, yes, it's manipulation, it's changing things, and it might not be healing at a certain level of because by eliminating a cancer, you've destroyed it, destroyed something at the micro scale, so that you can restore function at the macro scale. Well, yes, you have, but a cancer is not fundamentally a substance. It's not a thing in itself. It is a distortion of something. It's a corruption, and so its elimination is not the elimination of a thing with its own separate existence. Rather, it is it's the elimination of a fault in something. It's the correction of an error, and the correction of an error is to repair damage to a substance, a thing in itself. Now, parasites that becomes a little more interesting, right? So if you're removing a parasite from an organism, yes, you are curing the organism, you're healing it, but you're removing or even destroying the parasite. Fine. But part of what defines a parasite is that it is non-beneficial. It is parasitic. Again, it destroys the organism upon which it feeds, and so it is ultimately destructive. That's what distinguishes a parasite from a symbiote. Funny thing. So if we think to this moral dilemma that we actually have in Stargate, especially in SG-1, talking about the Goa'uld, which are these parasitic snake creatures that burrow into your brain and take you over. They use your body like a puppet. And so they are called symbiotes, but they're pretty much only called symbiotes by the Jaffa, who are their slave race, and the Tok'ra, who are the sort of good guy Goa'uld, because they see themselves as symbiotic rather than as parasitic. But the Goa'uld themselves, the bad guy ones, are purely parasitical. And so calling them symbiotes is a weird wordplay thing that's used for manipulating this kind of thought process. Anyway, healing isn't a matter of perspective. It is a matter of perspective. It's having the right perspective or not having the right perspective. If you have the right perspective, seeing the thing as its own coherent, self-existent substance, then healing it is merely restoring the accidents to align with the essence. If, however, you are a reductionist about things, then yeah, manipulating matter at this low level can either be, you can either see it as helpful or destructive, and it's all a matter of perspective. Are you taking the perspective of this or that atomic structure? Are you taking the perspective of this or that level of organization? And it's arbitrary, right? But again, this is only if you're edgy and 14, or Sam Harris, who is basically an edgy 14-year-old in a grown-up body, mostly grown-up body. He's actually quite short. But you get the point, I hope, that the way that Kreia is treating the situation is unbelievably and annoyingly modernistic and relativistic and reductionistic. To the point where again, it's one of these problems that I just need to pound desperately into the heads of all of my students, so that they can actually get the idea that things are in fact what they are, and that is an objective fact of the matter, and not just something that we assign to it, labels that we apply arbitrarily and such. Again, I talked about this Thursday, but kids these days are mostly nominalists, which is, man, just irritating. Whenever the more I see nominalists these days, and I blame Hume for a lot of things, but a lot of Thomists, especially people who are more dedicated to Thomism in particular than I am, because I see myself more, to some degree at least, as a Thomist, or at least Thomistic scholar. A lot of Thomists will blame Occam and even Duns Scotus for a lot of the errors of modernism. And I hesitate to go back that far, because I think Occam got some things right, Scotus got a lot right, and even got some things right that Aquinas got wrong. I mean, the Immaculate Conception, clear example. But a lot of Thomists don't like him because he was getting closer towards nominalism, and Occam was in fact a nominalist to some degree at least. And yeah, I think that is at the root of a lot of our conceptual philosophical problems today as a modern society. So anyway, yeah, let's just force persuade these guys. There's no need for this. Go on your way. There's no need for this. We'll go on our way. Hey, Rudum, how you doing?
Are you crazy? That was exchange muscle. When they hear about this, they'll come back a dozen strong and tear you limb from limb.
I can handle them. For now, I need some information.
All right. What'd you want to know?
I'm looking for a Jedi Master by the name of Zez Kyle. Heard of him?
Jedi Master? Are you crazy? There aren't any more Jedi running around, let alone Masters. But you're serious, aren't you? All right, well, look. If I were a Jedi, I'd be where I could help people. As for where that happens on Nar Shaddaa, I have no idea.
I mean, it's not hard to find people to help, really. Alright, I'm looking for bounty hunters.
The bounty hunters don't have any one place where they stick around. Best thing I can tell you is if you want to find one, get a bounty on your head and then wait.
Huh. Alright, well that's better than nothing. Now get out of here.
Are you serious? Alright. I must be doing something right for you to come along and bail me out like you did.
Yeah, help me out. Thank you.
Well, I guess the Jedi Code is still alive and well.
You mean? Anyone in need deserves our help, if we're capable of it.
If you say so, I'm not sure I believe it. There's a lot of people who need help in the galaxy. If we stop to help each one, the Sith are going to be on us faster than anything. Let's just accomplish our mission first, then worry about everyone else.
Influence gained, really? He respected that. Nice. There's the docks, not yet. It makes me. It's weird. Atton seems to be sort of the guy in defense of the bystander effect. Vic, get up and go home, or else I'll tell Moto to. New face, come in. But he seems to be a kind of in defense of the bystander effect, which is a weird thing. It's a weird thing to be in defense of the bystander effect. You don't think of the bystander effect as something needing defending, or a good thing for that matter. But he's just like, oh, no, just mind your own business, move on. He's very he's very urban in that respect, culturally. Very urban cultural thing to just stand back, not interfere, not get involved when it's not your business. And Atton is pushing that line when I don't think it needs to be pushed. That seems like a kind of, I don't know, that seems kind of like the ordinary response to situations like this. Oh, excuse me again. At least descriptively. This is kind of how things usually go, psychologically speaking. What's this? What about her? Greetings, Elfwolder. I'm Born Alyss. Greetings, I'm Emitter Fixture. Pleasure. Might I ask what you're doing here? I was thinking of racing my swoop bike. That would not be smart, at least not yet. Why is that? Racing now would be pointless. Lupo has a champion that cannot be beat. A droid. A droid? Lupo began taking advantage of all the traffic of rich merchants and naive refugees by fixing the swoop races on Nar Shaddaa. After being repeatedly hounded by the exchange for their cut of the profit, Lupo found a way to fix the races and keep every credit by going legit. So he built a droid to win the races. Lupo commissioned Coden to make a droid that could pilot a swoop bike better than any sentient ever could. A droid would be a formidable opponent, especially if it knows the track. With the droid's body, his new pilot could withstand much greater trauma than flesh and blood, and all the safety features could be removed from the swoop bike. How cunning. Well, as my father says, you can shave a Wookiee several times, but you can only skin him once. Meaning he scared away all the competition. Yes. When everyone realized his competition was unbeatable, that's dried up. So how do I beat him? I was hoping you'd ask me that. Just tell me what to do. The droid is kept in a cage in between races so as not to damage itself. You see, Lupo is notoriously cheap and did not spring for any software upgrades beyond the piloting program. Go on. If Lupo's droid gets destroyed, he'll lose not only the gallery, but his champion as well. The next racer to come along would not have very much competition. Okay, how do we proceed? Well, it just so happens I have access codes to the droid's cage. Okay, you'll give me the code. Okay. You will give me the code sounds threatening. What good will that do? If someone wanted to reprogram the droid or sabotage it in some fashion, they would need access codes to the cage. Great, what are the codes? Not so fast. Lupo sees that someone tampered with the droid. He'll get it fixed and change the cage's codes. We must destroy it on the first try, or if not up to the task, we will render any codes useless. I can reprogram the computer core with a process delay without him realizing it. You don't look like you know the difference between a swoop bike and a Republic battlecruiser. Yeah, but I don't. You're right, but Bowder does. Fine. What do you want? I want the codes. You could just pry open the control cluster and cut out a few wires. You sound like you know what you're about. Here are the codes. Okay. T9 access codes. Let's go play with it. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Negotiator, only shield. Oh, hey, there's our ship. Right there. Goron. Ah, stranger, is it not beautiful? It is. Maybe we'd have an understanding. You're not local, can see the city for what it is. What do you see? In our Jedi teams with much hope, all hope is for nothing. Why do you say that? Hope is gone, all credits go to Swoopbike, but still I lose. Perhaps you spend your credits on wisely? Swoop is the only way to leave, for some to leave planet. If a racer wins races, prize winnings will pay for passage aboard transport. How's your hope gone? Well, it sounds like you've got a solid plan. Lupo Shaw got a champion that cannot be beat. Worst of it all is it's a droid. How are we supposed to compete with a machine? Perhaps you're not approaching the situation from the right direction. Whatever direction is, the droid's brain will always be faster than a sentient's brain. No one can hope to beat him. Droid? Off-worlder, yeah, the whole thing we already talked about. Fan blasts. Fans along the course that will blow you up, down, left, or right. You must compensate for them or else you'll crash. Thanks for the tip. Maybe someone can even the odds. Has to be here somewhere. Is there something I can help you find? Interface. Lupo's droid has an interface module for his swoop bike. You're looking for such a device here? Yes, the module helps the droid see what's all around his bike. Which means... that means that it can avoid obstacles. All of the obstacles, even the other swoop bikes. There are other swoop bikes on the track, so this isn't like all of the other swoop races we've ever done. Lupo's race not only race use track, but it's the only race to run on the track backwards. He runs races backwards. Other swoops come from in front. Hard to see before crash unless you steal the module. The module is part of the droid's frame. It cannot be removed. So what are you looking for? I'm looking for an interface module for me. Does such a device exist? No, but one has to be here somewhere. I can win if I can find it. Why are you looking if you don't know if it exists? Another mark, a racer. Mark? Marketable face. You have a very unique face that is easy to market to the fans. Never mind. Just please turn away. Check the droid for oddities. Unusual looking module attached under its left arm. The module up to your datapad. Racing all data and backups. Powder, let's go. How about you handle this, huh? Slice into the droid's behavioral core. Bypass the meager security lockouts. Lupo must have considered the shield adequate protection. Left of the behavioral subroutines. Open swoop 001. This file contains all the data needed for the droid to race. Reprogram the droid. Reprogram the droid to think it is in a race and about to lose. This activates the droid's self-destruct system. Oh my god! What's going on here? Your droid seems to have expired. A droid! Lupo will have my gills on a plate! What happened? Your droid exploded. I saw nothing. I'm ruined. I can't afford to build another one. Those creditors will have my Leku on a plate. Perhaps someone can buy the gallery from you. Yes, you should be able to get enough pay everyone off and still have some left over. Must move quickly. Who would buy this Gizka-infested hole? Perhaps Borna-less? Borna? Yes, she's been trying to snatch this place out from under me for some time now. Borna! Borna! That's not how you say Borna in... Rill. That's it. That's what it's called. Back. Okay, he's unconscious. Hey, Borna. You performed wonderfully. Lupa could not sell me the gallery fast enough. For a good price, I might have added and left the planet on the first transport to his creditors, grabbing at his Leku. Here's the cut of the profits I made off the purchase of this place. They're yours in any case. All is thanks to you. 2,000 credits! Wow, okay. Let's... Okay, hold on. Let me check again. I always do this. I do this every time. But... F4 is quick save. Okay. I want to race. The heavy lifters are operating today. You must jump to avoid them as they move cargo. What else? The track we use is actually an old sewer system that runs beneath the city, under the refugee camp, around the methane bar and through the docks. Do you know the other swoop bikes and the fan blasts? Yeah, I know about all the dangers of the track. Let's go. This is gonna be really hard. Ow! Ah! 55. That's not bad. Not bad. I don't actually know what the record is, what I'm supposed to be aiming for. Oh, I'm the champion. Oh man, the second place finisher was Nodobo with a time of 1:02. Thank you. Is there a prize? Oh yes, I almost forgot. Here you go, 500 credits. This is your split of the winnings. I appreciate it. Perhaps I'll see you again. There's no more to be had. The race has only just begun to draw attention once more. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a really hard... My god. I mean, I managed it just because there was a really high record there. Okay. So, I need to find Lurno, or whatever his name was. Lutra. That's it, Lutra. What's this? That's the way back out. What's this? Where I haven't gone? Oh. Cute little cantina. Vosk. You're brave to walk here, ex-Jedi. In landing on Nar Shaddaa, you've stepped into the great dragon's jaws. Is that a threat? I'm Vosk. Once in the Bounty Hunters Guild, now no longer. You have nothing to fear from me. And why is that? Because I'm no longer one of them. I do not hunt as they do, as cowards, honorless betrayers. Membership in the guild is name only. Most are killers, assassins. Someone has taken their hunter's heart and twisted it. Those of the guild no longer take pleasure in the hunt, only in the kill. Bounty hunting has become murder. Forget it. I had other questions for you. Ask away. Oh yeah, by the way, I got my Star Tours shirt, which is the ride at Disney World that got canonized into the lore as a transport company that's wildly unreliable. That's it. And so I just figured that is the perfect shirt to be wearing for flying around the galaxy in the Ebon Hawk, going to wild random destinations, stopping on Nar Shaddaa, having our ship repossessed from under us, that sort of thing. You sound as if you hate the guild. Membership in the guild is name only. Oh yeah, you already said that. Other questions? I'm being hunted. I need to know by whom. Rat at the bounty hunters and collect the bounty. Then you'll find out. I was hoping to find out without it coming to that. Hope has no currency on Nar Shaddaa. Force them to come from the shadows and break their truce. Make the predators show themselves. What can I do to make them show myself? Make them show themselves. Credits are the blood that beats in the heart of every bounty hunter. Make enough trouble, get a price in your head to make it so high, that drives them mad. No one can resist wanting to kill you. That doesn't sound very comforting. Nothing is gained without risk. If you seek danger, be prepared for it when it's at your throat. Cause trouble. Make someone mad enough they no longer care whether there's a truce among the hunters or not. So who should I make mad? Easiest is the exchange. No one else has the credits to pay you enough. There's enough danger in that, like beating a Wookiee if you succeed. It's unlikely you will have all your limbs at the end. Never mind. I'll be going. Thank you. Okay. Anything else? There was that droid seller. I think he was over, I guess, there, from your perspective. And then there was the Rhodian female. How did I miss both of them? Oh, here's the Rhodian. Okay, here's the Rhodian. I guess that's a female. Ah, you have the look of a second-season spacer about you. Perhaps a veteran of the war yet to come. No? I'm Gita, humble purveyor of goods, supplies, clothing, and for yourself, weapons and armor. Undar across the way has a problem with you. So many problems beset Undar, it's a wonder he's time to mention just one. I'm indeed flattered by his attentions. Your business to me is more important, however. Whatever discount Undar has offered, I shall match it, if you will permit me to remain and do business without incident. That's acceptable. Wait, I can't, like, say otherwise? Fine. Very well, that brings me much relief. Many people here on Moon are somewhat intractable concerning such matters. What did you mean before veteran of a war, not a war yet to come? Struggles and battles are the way of the universe. A pitch and yaw of empires fall and rise. At the end of seeming shadows. By your stance, I can tell you've seen many battles. You're not ready to lay your weapons aside. Let's see what we have. We did get a nice discount. So let's see. Weapons. Anything. Field survival pistol. Nah. Flash pistol, carbine. Okay. Armor. Strength D package. No. No. Miscellaneous. Ooh, crystals. Crystals. Piece of grenade. I'm gonna need this. Atigan crystal. Yeah, it's 900. Yeah, I need it. I'm gonna need it. I don't need it now, but I'm gonna. Yellow crystal, huh? No, I don't need a yellow. Oh, I don't have anything else. I don't want yellow. Okay. Coden junk dealer, you buy? I'm looking for an astromech droid, IT-31. Once belonged to Tien Tub. No tub droid, only Coden droid. You see tub droid, go see tub. How about I buy that droid from you? Sell good droid, not look it but good, sturdy smart. Many programs in tiny brain, 500 credits. 150 or nothing. Good enough. Take droid, code and count credits. Let me see what else you have for sale. Weapons, no. Armor. Jerky utility belt. Ooh! Ooh! Only 100 credits for all that? Yeah, heck yeah. Droid parts, huh? Miscellaneous. HK control cluster, absolutely. Negotiated your release. You're free to go. See you back at Tien's garage. See ya. Cool. So on the way back, I wanted to mention that. So one of the things that I've been ranting a lot tonight about the problems with modern thinking and the way that kids these days, by kids these days I mean everyone in our society, thinks and has trouble thinking. This actually speaks to one of the points, one of the problems that I've noticed in particular, which is that okay. So my students just finished their first big quiz, which is a quiz on logic and critical thinking, and there's a whole section on propositions. What are propositions? What are truthity and falsehood conditions? What does it mean to say that a proposition has truth value? Do all propositions have truth value? What's the difference between a fact and opinion? That kind of stuff. Now, the fact-opinion distinction, this is one of those things that we all learned wrong. I mentioned this before last week. I mentioned this twice last week, I think. I've mentioned this countless times. All over this channel. It's kind of the thing I talk about the most. And so, I ranted about it intensely and extensively in all of my classes this semester because it's a major component of the quiz, and because it's a big misconception. Essentially, we all learn that facts are things that are proven and objective, proven being the key part, and opinions are things that are merely subjective, something that's not objective and not universally true. Right? And so we tend to think, or at least students tend to think. Okay, actually, I'll get to this. The correct understanding, by philosophical definition, is that a fact is a true proposition, a proposition which is true, has positive truth value. Whereas an opinion, by contrast, is not by contrast really. We think of it as contrast, but it's not really. But an opinion is a proposition which one holds to be true. Whether it is or not, it is about epistemology. It's about belief. Okay, so one of the questions on the quiz, and the one that the most people in all three of my classes got wrong, was true or false. Opinions are neither true nor false, and the majority of all three of my classes said true. They answered that opinions are neither true nor false, which is absolute, utter, modernist nonsense. And it is the one thing that I was trying so desperately to just beat out of their minds, that they were all brainwashed with since, well, I'm including myself with this, we were all brainwashed with since, first grade. We're all taught, oh, your opinion isn't true or false, it's just an opinion. Which is really unbelievably irritating. As well as being very dangerous. It's really quite a dangerous idea. That it's really quite a dangerous idea that our it's actually a very, very, like I said, a very dangerous idea that our our opinions are neither true nor false. Unbelievably dangerous. Because it can lead to dismissing not only others' ideas, but our own. Not treating our ideas seriously, which is horrible. Horrible. And so, again, I need to, funny thing, not tomorrow, but next week, because I mentioned Hurricane Ian, mentioned in passing, but my classes this week are all canceled by the university, so I'm going to be home all week, answering emails and, weathering the storm. Should be fine. Shouldn't be too bad. Mostly looking at rain and some wind. At least hopefully. Well, you never know. But I'm a Florida man. I know this kind of thing. All else fails, we'll shelter in Publix. Anyway, though, when we come back, I'm gonna really have to re-emphasize this whole thing. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go crazy on it because, man, it's one of those things which I thought I had nice and settled for all of my students. I thought they got a hold of it, but man, they dropped the ball hard on that one. Now, the big secret is, which I don't tell any of them, and if they watch this, then cool, you're watching my streams, and think of this as office hours, and you get let in on the secret early. The cool secret is that this logic quiz, every semester, I open it up for retakes after it's all been submitted. So everyone gets to fail at it, because the student average this semester was about 61%, something like that. It's usually somewhere in the 60s. It was a little bit low this semester. But in any case, it's one of those where a lot of students are going to fail spectacularly, realize that they don't understand it as well as they need to, and then I give them the chance with unlimited retakes, but it takes the most recent, and it doesn't tell you what questions you got wrong exactly. Or it doesn't tell you what the right answers are, at least. And so you can go back and retake it once you've actually reviewed the material and you know what you're doing. I find it actually to be really helpful, and most students wind up with a pretty good grade on the quiz after a reasonable number of attempts, because you go back through and you make sure you know what you're doing. Yeah, I see a shape. Is someone there again? Welcome to Tian's shop. My eyes are old. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Can you change the ship's ID transponder code? Where am I going? Let's go. How about her? You want to talk to him? Are you alright? Alright, as it failed, hearing's still sharp.
Hearing's pretty sharp, if you couldn't guess from the lobes.
I'm not blind to sounds, no matter how quiet, so address me with respect. Now what brings you here? This reminds me a bit of, what is he, a Ferengi, I guess, from Star Trek? I came here to do business. Good. Who's knows? Welcome out. What kind of business are you? Looking for better equipment and parts. I'm at the right place. Finest vehicle repair ship.
Big Ears here might know someone who can change the Ebon Hawk's ID signature.
Big Ears. Compliments will not get you a discount. I'll be going for now.
Just say the word.
Was it the droid I need to talk to? Oh yeah, ID 31's returned. Most appreciative for your assistance. I was hoping for something more than that. There's nothing I can offer? Alright, I'll be going, I guess. Got experience for it, at least. Okay. Now what? Let's go back to the ship, shall we? Maybe. Never mind. Did not trigger the cutscene. Oh, maybe it did. Sketchy. What's going on? Well, hello. should have quick saved. What have you done to the crew? Oh. Okay, I'm doing all right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Oh, God. Ah, come on! Nah. Can I skip this? Oh no, please tell me this stupid thing isn't unskippable. Oh. This is unskippable. I'm gonna do this every time, aren't I? Oh, come on, Visas. Why can't we be friends? Oh, should have leave none of the crew. You're gonna just open your lights, ignite your lightsaber, and come at me, aren't you? Ah, great. All right, fine, but like, in compartment. Oh no, not that. All right, shield first, then speed. What happened? Nope, wrong thing. Blurry. Then accurate. Then alacrity. Jesus! Okay, so the shield doesn't help. I don't think. What do you think I can do with this? Can't skip, can I? You can't hear, but I'm tapping every button on my keyboard. Okay. What do I have to do about this? What happened to the crew? What have you done? Okay. Does my shield help? Nope, that didn't work. More or less immune to that. With flurry. Oh god, 68 damage. I missed all three. This is ridiculous. No, wait, no. I'm fine for the moment. Oh, God. I'm not fine. Not fine. Come on. Jesus. Whip. Absorbs energy electrical. 100. Heat. Okay, a Chani. Good. Okay. Okay, making progress here. Alright, well, I think we're okay. Renal alacrity hit. What the hell was that? Die. Oh, God. Oh, wait, no. Not that. What's this? Damn it! Oh! Okay, so if I immediately equip the Achani shield, switch to the Achani shield, try this again. Oh my god. Okay, I should have gained a level or two here before I did this. Dude, this is a hard fight. I forgot how hard this was. Okay, we have an hour left to this fight in particular. Now I'm wondering here, can I just use her lightsaber? I mean, I probably can't. Probably won't work. But, I don't know, maybe. That'd be one hell of a way to game the system. Alright, let's unequip that for the Achani shield. Let's use that first. Then, force speed. Shield! Shield! Pretty. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. Come on, really? Miss. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Shields. Okay, I'm making progress. What do you just do normal attacks? I'm actually doing better with that. Come on, man. What are my buffs? What are my current buffs? Does it show me what my current buffs are? No. There's no way to show my current buffs. Okay, fine. Shield. Heal. I'm trying Whirlwind Arrow. Okay. Alright, I should have known. Sucks. Shield again. Ow. Heal. Alright, I'm doing okay this time. I'm doing relatively okay. Not great. Relatively okay. Oh, God. Okay, shield again. Heal. Hit. Oh god, shield's gone. Another one. 3 shields. Oh, okay.
My lightsaber. You've destroyed it.
Damn
I
it,
yield,
really?
Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours.
My lightsaber. You've destroyed it. Ah, you can't have it. It's like, okay, we were talking about this a little while ago, a couple of streams ago. I forget. Might have been Phoenix saying it. I forget who was talking about this, but maybe it was Bublin. This game really, really taunts you about the lightsaber. Like, Atris just literally dangles in your face. It's like, your lightsaber, you recognize this? You're gonna take it from me? And then now it's like, oh, look, here's a lightsaber, and you don't get it. You can't have it because, well, you destroy it in combat, apparently. Ugh, I will not kill you.
You must. The alternative is only another death. And I would rather die by your hands.
Look, you're wounded. Stand, let me get you to the medbay.
I have nothing to offer you. Your strength is superior. It is as I felt.
Oh.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy.
What's a Miraluka?
I heard they had a colony on the Midrim, almost halfway between Onderon and Dantooine. Then, it wasn't there anymore. The whole planet was wiped out. Nothing left alive. No one knows why.
Well, she knows.
Well, it was a planet of her people. If they see through the Force, who knows? If they're all Force-sensitive, maybe they all saw something through the Force that we can't see, and they left before it happened. Or maybe it killed them.
Is that the same voice actor? Is that one guy? So, the voice actor for Atten, I think, is a really, really common... he plays a lot of secondary characters. Like, non-main, not quite main characters, but like Atten is. If I'm thinking of the right person. And I think he also does a bunch of animes, like English dubs of animes. Because he's super familiar. I think it's the guy I'm thinking of. I know him best, at least if it's the same guy, if it's the guy I'm thinking of, and the inflection there made me think it is. It's the guy who voiced the main character in Robotech Battle Cry, which was a video game adaptation of the Robotech anime and manga, which was really good. The anime was really good, by the way. I recommend it. It's an alien invasion sci-fi story. With like weirdly humanistic themes. It's good. It's pretty good. But anyway, it's Jack something. Anyway, the main character of the game spinoff of the anime. I think it's the same guy, but I'd have to look that up to be sure. They see through the Force.
They claim to see on a higher plane than we do. You know, the whole Force thing makes me nervous.
Well, they don't have eyes, so... Is she going to be alright?
Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though. I think she'll recover, yeah.
Condition changes, let me know. I didn't want to hurt her. You've scavenged a part from Visas Mars' lightsaber. Cool! There's one more part. We might actually get it tonight. The Emitter Fixture. Well, let's go see her. Let's find this hidden compartment first. Ooh. Edits. Melanine Edge, Heavy Blaster. Nice.
My life for yours.
Are you alright?
I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you.
That's not what I asked. I asked if you were alright.
I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
I know. And I fear that others will see the mercy in your actions, and in my survival, and use it as a weapon to do you greater harm.
How did you find me?
I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it.
Who sent you?
I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why.
I need to know where I can find your master.
You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready.
Ready?
If I bring you before my master, untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter.
My life is unimportant. Your master threatens more than just me.
I cannot. I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found.
You just got done trying to kill me. Ma'am, if he is behind what has befallen the Jedi, then he must be stopped.
You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready.
Why are you doing this for me?
There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so.
If your master has trouble detecting me, how are you able to do it?
There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force.
Where are your people, your world now?
It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction.
How was it destroyed? No. I've seen similar acts of destruction at Malachor.
I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between Qatar and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact.
How was it destroyed?
The planet was not destroyed. It remains. It orbits, dead in space. but nothing lives on its surface. It echoes, but there's no one left to hear it.
So, they like this a little bit. The dark side of the Force consuming planets. They actually reused this in a very, very different manner in the Old Republic, the MMO. It's part of, in that context, it's part of the Emperor, the Sith Emperor's plan to basically ascend, to achieve immortality through the Force. Become something equivalent to one of the Ones, so one of the Celestials, just a dark side version, by consuming the life force of a planet and using that as a sort of dark ritual to achieve something like immortality. Your homeworld was destroyed. How did you survive?
I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died. To see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world.
As if everything suddenly went silent.
I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of Qatar. And my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed.
You were the only survivor.
Yes, but it was not survival. I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done. When the life was bled from the planet, and yet somehow I remained. My master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world, and there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own, and he made me see. And for the first time I saw the galaxy, and I wished to die.
It made you see?
To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets. The mass of beings that swarm through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them.
Why did your master show you this?
He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order.
It's reminded of a colleague and friend of mine who once presented a paper at a conference. It was essentially a satirical paper, but it was a well-researched, fully developed paper in just war theory, and it was ultimately satirical, but it made the argument for I believe it was the Kantian idea of what he calls perpetual peace, which Kant argues, I think it's Kant, argues should be the end of all warfare. It should be the only end that can justify warfare is aiming for perpetual peace ongoing and continuing throughout history, that won't cease, that won't re-erupt into violence. And as a kind of satire of that view, he used the basis of Kant's argument to argue in favor of step by step, gradually going through, first arguing for nuclear proliferation as a sort of mutually assured destruction, as a deterrent. But then even going further and arguing not just for nuclear proliferation as a deterrent, but the actual sparking of a nuclear war that would annihilate all life on Earth and therefore ensure perpetual peace, because there would be no more human beings to do any fighting. And he kept a straight face the entire presentation of the paper, and he answered questions as if he thought this were an actual conclusion that he had reached, as a way of, at least I take it to be, and assume this is what he was doing, and knowing him, this is almost certainly what he was doing, as a kind of reductio of both the idea of perpetual peace as an end of just warfare, and then also as a reductio of nuclear proliferation. So this reminds me of that, because this is the idea of it, of nihilus. Well, I mean, it's in the name, right? Nihilus means nothing. So this idea that nihilus pursues peace, stillness, order, by eliminating all chaos, which means by eliminating everything. If you were to eliminate all potentiality, what that means is you're also eliminating all actuality, because potentiality and actuality co-inhere in the same substances with the absence of the eternal and unchanging God, or the void, which is not pure potentiality, but simply non-being. And so between these two, you have the world as it is in flux. And if you want to get rid of the chaos of that flux, then you have to eliminate it. The whole thing needs to be destroyed, and that's Nihilus's view. He's a nihilist. But he's a nihilist seeking something like order. But order construed in this horrific, twisted sort of way. So, how did your master... Oh, gosh. Excuse me again. Can't stop yawning tonight. It's a long time. It's been a long day or so. How did your master destroy your homeworld? To kill on such a scale, it's impossible.
It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not. And my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it.
So, the interesting thing that, again, minor spoiler, I suppose, but it comes out relatively quickly, and the implications of it are more interesting than the actual sort of twist of it. But then Mitra Sarek, the player character, is also, in a slightly different way than Nihilus, a wound in the Force, because of the destruction of Malachor and the role she played in it. All of that destruction sort of concentrated itself upon her Force presence, and she severed herself from the Force. And so now she becomes a kind of wound in the Force, but an outward pouring rather than an inward drawing, is at least the way I interpret it, the way I understand it. So we'll look at this. We'll keep this whole thing in mind, and kind of draw attention to it when it comes up in terms of how she interacts with the companions and how she interacts with especially with Kreia, and as well as the other Jedi Masters. So how did your master destroy Qatar?
The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And Qatar, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died. And the Jedi died. And there was no one left. Only me.
It's another instance of a sort of but-for or contributing cause that is not an actual, not a per se cause or a proximate cause. He attacked it because the Jedi had gone there.
He cannot deny his hunger for long. And any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence.
Or it may starve him, make him more desperate.
I do not understand what you mean.
Thinking out loud. Why did the Jedi meet in Qatar?
They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat.
Forget it, I had some other questions for you.
I will answer what I can, but my answers may prove useless to you.
Was your master the one sent to Paragas?
I am not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction.
Really? What do you mean?
There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same. The death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you.
Alright, I had some other questions.
I will answer what I can.
Yeah, so it's Nihilus and Scion. Scion being the being of pain that took Kray's hand. But then of course we also, according to Revan at least, have the secret Sith Empire on Droman Kaas. Sith Emperor creating a new order of Sith to sweep in once all of this chaos subsides. I've heard your species is blind. How are you able to see?
My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well.
You sound as if that sight is lost to you.
My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people.
Visa says the limited ability to see the Force. She has Force sight in first-person mode and can also use it as a Force power by spending Force points.
My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain.
So, first-person mode. I didn't know there was a first-person mode in this game. When one endures, it gives hope to others and themselves.
Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this.
Never mind. I'll be going.
Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me?
Because I believe you can be saved.
You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me.
To help another is not weakness. It is strength to them both.
So you say. But it is not something I have observed or seen.
What do you mean?
I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories. Or the planet itself.
We've spoken enough. I must go. I've already talked about the homeworld.
Very well. Perhaps we shall speak more of this at another time. But know this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me.
Wasn't gonna. I've been over this. Alright, let's install that extra piece that we just got in HK. Oh. Parts are still missing. Okay, we didn't get another piece. I thought we did. Miscellaneous. Quests. Access codes. Okay, we have the emitter, we have the energy cell. We have a spacesuit. Computer navigation interface. Oh, okay. No. Miscellaneous. HK control cluster. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, okay. This is the additional component that we can add after the fact. Okay. Got it. Let's first of all, let's equip Visas. Or we'll level him up too, but let's equip her correctly. Padawan robe? Yeah, Padawan robe. Actually, you know what? Let's level her up first. Can I? No, I have to take her out of the ship to level her up first. Well, let's do that. Yeah. Okay, half an hour.
You have befriended the seer.
The Mirror Luca? What do you call her, a seer?
Her species does not see as we do. They perceive the galaxy through the Force, and it is how she found you. It is a rare gift squandered on her people.
Ugh.
The Sith carry the battle
that's so
to
racist.
you, and you spare them. And as we travel, the empty places of this ship are filled. I hope your thoughts in this matter are clear. If you take her on as a servant, know that the Sith meet their end at the hands of their apprentices. It is not something I would wish to happen to you. This one you have saved has other masters.
Yeah, not a Sith. Don't have to worry about that.
She has ties to darkness. Her presence here is a threat to us, to you. Do not underestimate her or her loyalty.
Mm-hmm. I think I can help her. She doesn't seem evil.
To show mercy to a Sith is to invite a blade to your throat. You walk a fool's path, and I will not aid you in helping her.
Me. Her entire planet was destroyed. She has no home left.
Ah, without a home, another exile. Her people are not prone to violence, war, or hatred, yet their planet is obliterated, scoured from the face of the galaxy, and all that remains is a Sith.
It means we got problems.
You are right to trust your instincts. Something is wrong. It is only a matter of discovering what and why. If your instincts lead you to an answer, seek me out. Perhaps we will discuss more.
Alright. I'll be going. Cool, more light side points. I mean, here's the thing. I'm maxed out on light side. That means I can afford to do a dark side thing or two. Which is a horrific way to think about it from an ethical standpoint, but it's something that this game and this sort of morality system greatly encourages.
You know, I noticed a glow before, but now it's bright around you. You've come a long way since Paragus, and despite all we've been through, you seem a lot better for it.
It's been like 3 days. I feel like I'm more in touch with the Force than I ever have been.
It shows. It's kind of inspiring, to be honest. Anyway,
yeah, we said this. Questions for you. Never mind. Alright, we have one more component we need for that lightsaber. So let's take Atten and Visas and get a going. Atten, Visas. Okie dokie. Yes.
My light.
Level up. Skills? No. Stealth? Yeah. That'll work. Beats. Oh, she has 2-weapon fighting. Let's go with improved 2-weapon fighting. That way she can use a staff or some such. Nah, I can't go better lightning. Can't go better lightning yet. Can soon. Scream. Now, wound. Can't upgrade that. Deflection, maybe. Speed. It's good for her to have heal. Everyone needs heal. All my force powered. Oh, she is pure light side. Oh my god. Okay, that changes some things. Charisma. Skills. Powers. Speed. Let's go stun. Keep our skills up. Master 2-weapon fighting. Hours. Energy, nah. Stasis. Oh, lightning. It's dark side power, though. She uses a crap ton of force for it. So I'm going to go with stun, or stasis. Up again, unarmed specialist. That's weird. Powers. Now I can go. Choke? Or no. Force lightning. Really good. Really good power. Skills. Powers. Chicho. Good. Okay. No. Whirlwind. Very good. Accept. And that's it. Cool. Guidon Beacon. No. What's two-handed? I can't really do a... Vibro Sword and then Rhodian Blade. Guidon Beacon is like that's a saber staff, basically. That's a staff, basically. Fortitude. Actually, wait, no. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Cool.
It's yours.
Cool, it's a smacking stick.
I hear you.
All right. Yeah. Let's go. Save. There. Work. What is this down here? Refugee sector, huh? Maybe. So, refugee sector. Entertainment promenade, or the docks. Where the heck is the guy? Lutra. Unite him with his wife. See if I can find a better guide. 2.5 an hour. I'm pretty sure. I'm not completely sure, but I think I can probably. I think he's in the refugee sector if I remember correctly, but let's see if I can find out details. Okay, got the one on Telos from Lutra, located in... Formatting for this is ridiculous. It is clearly not designed for mobile. Flophouse area of the docks. Okay, so it's the docks. Let's go to the docks. Let's find Lutra. His wife is located in the refugee sector, so let's find Lutra first, go to his wife, go back to Lutra. Bing, bang, boom, lightsaber. Oh, the mighty Hanhar, you wear your shackles well. How did our meeting with Goto go? Lethal, I hope. Only his shadow and his voice, he fears to stand before others in the flesh. He is strange prey. You'll find no one who can hunt better than me. I have walked the shadowlands of Kashyyyk, and here returned with the pincers of Kinrith buried in my flesh, with the scars of battle upon me, with... Yes, that is why Zerka found you such easy prey. I care nothing for the accomplishments of primates in some backwater world, Hanhar. I care only for your accomplishments here, upon the smuggler's moon. But if you cannot perform the task, then perhaps the human female will serve. Mira, is it? Even nauseatingly thin and shapely and free of wrinkles, she is said to have a dancer's grace, and be a better hunter than you. She refuses to kill, but I imagine with enough credits I could persuade her otherwise, especially considering what a disappointment you have proven to be. Speak of her again, and I will tear your tongue from your... Doggos. He will cut those dogs in half. These are my hounds, Hanhar, just as you are. I tell you again, find Goto, kill him. Do not return until you have done this. I will return for this, I swear to you. That's a thing that's happening now. So the huts in the exchange are tangling a bit. Alright, so let's go straight to the Flophouse, which is back here, I think, if I remember right. Oh, it's this guy. Let's avoid him for the moment. Yeah, this is it, right? Just save that. Same slot. Bucklish Thug. Grand Thug. What are you gonna attack me? No, I don't mean to sneak up on you. I'm just like... just trying to find somebody, guys. Just chill. That's not who I'm looking for. I mean, I'll still talk to you guys.
Not a very good idea. Entering a Mandalorian's room uninvited. Why don't you back up to the point where you were standing outside the door and rethink your decision?
A Mandalorian with a sense of humor?
There are a few of us in the galaxy. Yeah, what do you want?
Nothing. Just looking around.
Enjoy yourself.
Sorry, fellas. Oh, well, okay. Immunity belt. What's that do? It's the one with the lowered attack modifier. Damn it. I love how they don't get angry at all that I'm just looting their stuff. They seem to be perfectly okay with that. A few credits. You know, looting through crates. You know, for credits. I feel like Conrad Werner in here. If we recalibrate one, we'll have to recalibrate. Wait, who are you? I'm Mitra Surik, just checking out the area. You see, yet at the same time, I do not. Explain why it is you've come here. Mitra Surik, is it? Who are you? I'm the one who purchased the rights to this room. Can you explain why it is you're disturbing my work? Can I ask what you're doing? I do not know if I can or not. I'm familiar with human etiquette or physiology in reference to such situations. I just want to know what you're doing. Looks interesting. Of course, ask away. What are you doing here? I'm trying everything to get everything working. It's very difficult. What does all this do? Equipment allows me to tie into listening devices I installed in the docking pylons. That's perfect antennas, you see. Antennas for what? The triangulated signal I detected is elusive with strange harmonics, yet I must catch it. You're looking for one specific signal? Yes, I must. It's the only frequency I cannot get out of my head. There are ways I could help you with that problem. I assume she's talking about the Force, not knocking him in the noggin, but who knows. Yes, one of my species has much higher frequencies than your species, you see. Sometimes we can hear communication sent through artificial means. I would think by now you could tune out what you don't want to hear. I will not stop. It will not stop, no matter how many frequency dampeners I surround myself with. I cannot get that one signal out of my head. The power driving it must be enormous. Why would anyone need such a strong signal? The only reason I can discern is that the owner of the transmission intends to cover the entire planet. Whatever is generating the signal is strong enough to cover the entire planet. The unique thing is that the transmission is buried in several signals and other background noise. So you stumbled upon it by mistake? I was not able to pick it out if it weren't for my knowledge of such things. Therein lies the problem. Due to my familiarity with the relevant technologies, I cannot tune it out as other bits probably do. It's too noticeable and too curious for me to ignore. What makes the signal so unique is that it uses other transmissions and signals as carriers to cover the entire planet. There's no one generator of this signal. Such a device would be quite conspicuous. So you believe whoever's signal this is wants to keep it hidden. Whoever uses this particular signal wanted to keep it a secret for anyone who didn't know exactly what to look for. Is there anything I can do to help you out? I'm in need of a good courier, actually. What's the job? It is simple. I don't have the time to leave my work. Sure. Take these credits and meet a supplier of mine at Twi'lek. He is a vital part needed to complete the triangulation. Given the payment, it will give you the part. Bring it here, simple. Where were you supposed to meet this Twi'lek? Twi'lek is meant to meet me at Pylon 3 in just a few minutes. To help? Okay. I guess I'll do that. Oh, that's empty. Let's see about what's his nuts first.
My life for...
Oh, never mind. I just talked to you. Are you from the Dock Authority? If so, I say twice, I will not pay the departure fee. If you were taking money at Blaster Point. I'm not from the Docking Authority. What do you mean? Dock Authority is the second voice of the exchange. I charge high credit for leaving and entering the docking area. I was able to dock, but when I arrived, I found my contact was not here. The Dock Authority will impound my ship unless I can find enough credits and pay to leave. Let me see if I can help. I'll go see the Dockmaster. Thank you, Human. The Dockmaster is Fasa. I will not forget you interceding on my behalf. Out of curiosity, what's your cargo, Lasavu? I'm transporting cryogenic power cells, a large shipment. Again, I thank you for your help. Could I have one of your power cells? If you're gonna help me, I'll give you one. I'll let you know what happens. Oh. What is that? How is that gonna help me? No, that's fuel, not power cells. Why do I need a power cell? Why did I ask that? That's a weird thing to ask. Whoa! Whoa! Mines and blasters and all sorts of crazy stuff. Here he is, Lutra.
I don't know who you are, but you picked the wrong room to break into.
Sorry, I didn't know anyone was in here.
No harm done. For a minute, I thought you might have been someone else.
What do you mean?
My wife, Ada. There's a chance she may be here on Nar Shaddaa. A lot of refugees ended up here after the Jedi Civil War. I came here to see if I could track her down. Thing is, I can't get into the refugee sector. And even if I could, I'm not sure I could find her. I've been here for weeks, hoping to see her face. All I've done is watch my credits burn away to nothing.
Why can't you get into the refugee sector?
The exchange has got the place barricaded with thugs. They're putting the squeeze on the whole sector, trying to crush the spirit out of the remaining refugees. Now I'm almost cleaned out. I burned the last of my fuel and my freight just getting here. The exchange promised me a job shuttling freight via cargo cruiser, and I'm close to taking them up on it.
I may be able to get into the refugee sector for you.
Yeah? And what's it gonna cost me?
Nothing. I'd just like to help if I can.
Well, I'm not gonna turn away an offer of help. All right, stranger. If you can find her, then you'll have my thanks.
All right. Let me go see if I can find out about in the refugee sector. I am going to loot your valuables, though. Yeah, if you beat him up there, if you kill him, then you just get the, you just immediately get the, it's locked. That's done. You immediately get the lightsaber part. No more questions asked. Alright, let me rush back to the refugee sector. I got 15 minutes. I think I might be able to pull this off. I'm not sure, though. Maybe not. Which way's that? Entertainment Promenade. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Opposite end. Got it. Alright, let's see then. Okay, see if we can get in here or if it's going to be a problem. I might just be able to just force persuade my way in. All else fails. What do you do here? Not allowed, not refugee. Unless you have credits or something. Give us yes. What do you want? You want the toll. Anyone coming in or out of the sector pays Overseer Sequish's toll except refugees. They stay in. Lutra. Who's Lutra? A dark-skinned beard, you remember? Oh, Lutra, yeah. Overseer, we say to him. Keep him out. Take toll from corpse. Why would you want to... get out of my way. Didn't pay toll yet. 50 credits. I'm just visiting. Do I really need to pay the toll? Alright, you can go in. Thank you, kind sirs. Wow, they're really stupid. Let's open it up. Let's see if this works. Impossible, okay. That way doesn't work. Let's see. There. Gotta go fast. Trying to get through without getting into a massive fight, because I've accidentally done that before. I have wandered through the refugee sector before and just, like, accidentally fought an army. That was awful. refugee. Kind of difficult, really. Oh, what's all this then? You're right. It is him. He's different. Let's watch and see what he does. You think he'll recognize us? He never saw us before. He'll not recognize us now. We may approach safely with that detection. The heck? Really, guys? Alright, whatever. It's fine. I don't care. Oh, secret door. I'm not going to do that yet. Is it you?
Greetings.
Correct.
Are you the spacer we were told about?
Spacer? No, I'm Emitter Fixture.
Oh, we were expecting one of the pilots from the docks sometime soon to come and get us off Nar Shaddaa. He's late. I don't know where he is.
I might be able to track him down for you. Yeah, I might be able to track him down for you.
Thank you. To be honest, I don't even know his name. Some guy named Planor said he had a pilot friend who would take us for 500 credits.
And how much did Planor charge you for this information?
50 credits. Why?
I suspect Planor scammed you.
I was afraid of that. I knew I shouldn't have trusted him.
I'll try and find someone for you.
Thank you. I'm beginning to lose hope that we'll ever get out of here.
Alright, well, let's see what we can do there, but... Still gotta find the wife. No? Kevin? Refugee. Kevin. We'll come back to Kevin. Yeah, but spelled the fancy Star Wars way, I suppose. Pasif. Ada? Ada!
Another refugee? I'm sad to see another join our ranks. I lost my husband Lutra long ago in the Jedi Civil War.
Lutra lives. He's actually come to Nar Shaddaa looking for you.
What? Lutra's here? Please! You must help me get to him.
Why can't you go to him now?
The exchange is circling the sector like Shyrex. If one of us should slip free, they will hunt us down and punish us.
Why are they containing you?
No one knows. I think they're trying to starve us into submission. Then they can make us slaves on the Hutt spice planets, or disposable workers in the Tabana gas factories on Slaheron. But other refugees think the exchange is looking for someone. Some even say it's a Jedi, but that's insane. No Jedi would ever come to a waste pit like Nar Shaddaa.
Okay. Any idea what Jedi they're looking for?
It's just a rumor. I don't even believe it. Sometimes I wonder if it's just a rumor someone dreamed up to make us suffer.
How can I deal with the exchange?
Deal with the exchange? You might as well wrestle with a planet. This branch of the exchange is run by Sequesh, a Quarren with ties to Visquis himself.
Visquis?
Visquis is the exchange boss here on Nar Shaddaa, at least in this sector. You don't want to cross him. There's usually a battalion of hired guns lurking in the shadows behind him.
Okay. Let me see what I can do about them. I'll be back.
Please, don't cause any trouble on my behalf. If you harm any of the exchange here, they'll take it out on us 100-fold.
Okay. I don't plan on, attacking them. I plan on talking to either Sequesh or Visquis or somebody and seeing what there is to see, that's all. Seeing if I can convince anybody. There are a ton of named NPCs around here. Really quite something. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can get further in and talk to the exchange. Let's save right there. I just want to talk. Yes, I'm brandishing a sword, but I really do just want to talk. I know it's not, doesn't seem that plausible, but I just want to talk. Little conference room, that's cute. Let's keep going. Another one? Little conference room? Yeah, little conference room, that's cute. Let's keep going. Oh.
We're all we've got. We need to stick together.
Sirocco.
This is Sirocco territory. Get out of here before we space you. Got it?
Now, who are the Sirocco?
We are. Now beat it.
Oh, okay.
This is Sirocco.
I wanted to speak to your leader.
That's a laugh. Look, blow out of here like space dust, or you'll be a new stain on the cargo hold.
I didn't want to be any trouble. I'll be going.
Fine. Now get out of here before I blast you.
All right. Okay, so that's not the exchange. That's not where I'm going. So how do I get to the exchange and the exchange leadership? Not Visquis, the other guy. Alright, I got 6 minutes here. I mean, to be fair, I can just... Did not help, okay. Maybe if I talk to the idiots. What do you want, pay toll? No thanks. Where can I find your boss? Overseers on west side of camp. Now leave us alone. West side of camp. Fine. West side of camp. This is the west side of camp. Is it Kevin? A stranger interested in some information from your 20 credits? What kind of information? I can give you a tip on how to get some good loot. Sure, why not? We've done a little scouting out of the exchange camp. I think there's some killing to be made. They have containers filled with goods. The stealth generators, some basic security seals. You can rob them without the guards even noticing. Thanks for the tip. Good luck to you. This guy?
I heard the Overseer kidnapped Nadar's daughter.
Ah, great. Otis? Oh, yeah, this is the way. I can do this. I can do this. Go west. A quick save. Yeah, okay. This is exchange territory, alright. Okay, fine. I don't want to get bashed. Oh,
my
right.
life is yours.
Right. Who has better stealth? He has 23 stealth! Jesus!
Yeah. Wait here. Pure Pazak.
Oh, this is actually working really well.
Let me take care of this. Pure Pazak.
Oh my god, this is so dumb. Can't believe this actually worked. Okay, cool. Thanks, Adam. Oh, okay. Quick load. Nope. Nope. Maybe I should ask. Okay.
Just say the word.
Oh, he's going so slow. Why is he going so slow?
Wait here.
Alright, let's loot everything real quick, and then we'll go through and not get busted. Oh, hey, sorry. Alright, yeah. Oh, man. Running out of time. That's okay. Honestly, if I go a couple of minutes over tonight for this one, that's kind of okay.
The honor is mine.
That's mostly okay, because I said, I don't have class tomorrow morning, so I don't have to wake up at 7:30. Hey, can
I hear you.
Fine.
Wait here.
I'm gonna see if I can save real quick and see if I can do this.
Pure Pazai.
Nope, that provoked. Afraid of that. Should have known better. Alright, it's fine.
Wait here.
The honor is mine.
Alright, everybody, let's go. Quick save again, because I've spoken to this guy and gotten directly into combat before, which is not going to be doing tonight. Oh, I thought I picked up a new smell in the sector. He's the one running this place. I'm Sequesh, the overseer of this sector, voice of the exchange. You will do well to show some respect, human. I'd like to talk with you about Lutra. Lutra, but do not mention that name to me again. There is nothing to discuss about that one. How might I show my support for the exchange? This is one trivial matter you could help me. A refugee, Nada, owes me 600 credits in tribute. We've taken measures to sell her daughter Adana to the Hutch, but it takes time, and the girl is not the most desirable. If you could convince the mother Nada to settle her debt, it would save me some time. You will let Adana go. I will let Adana go. Thank you, Sequesh. Wow, I can't believe that worked.
Subjects have their own strength about them.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. It's a small act, nothing more.
It may seem that way, but perhaps it can become much more. I'm sorry, I did not mean to speak of it.
No, speak your mind, I want to hear it.
Principles of sacrifice and charity. These are things I have not seen in some time. I'm afraid that it will weaken you for what comes. But I have said enough, and you do not need my counsel. Your actions should, as always, be your own.
Thank you. Quick save one more time. Let's talk to him again. Look at this, it's returned. How might I show my support for the exchange? It requires support, but I appreciate your groveling. I wasn't groveling. Excuse my misinterpretation. Your language is so clumsy for communication. Why do you dislike humans so much? You misunderstand me. I do not loathe humans because they are humans. I loathe humans because they are weak. Fine, I'll be going. Tell you what I'm going to do, because I did just quick save. I'm going to go really quickly back to Lutra and see if that actually worked. And if it didn't, then I will quick load and then properly save. Because I might have to fight the entire exchange to get her out. That is a real and a distinct possibility. Sorry, Ada.
Back again? Is there any...
Lutra lives, he comes to Nar Shaddaa. I can't keep going to him now. How can I deal with the exchange?
Deal with the exchange?
Visquis?
Visquis is the exchange boss here on Nar Shaddaa, at least in this sector. You don't want to cross him.
Okay, I've dealt with,
Please.
Okay, that actually didn't help. Can I talk about Ada to them? Do I actually have to kill the entire exchange? Let me quick load, because I already talked to her about this. What about Ada? Can I talk to this overseer fella about Ada? Show my support. Wasn't groveling. Want to do just like humans. Show my support. I'll be going. All right, well, I'll figure this out later. For now, I'm going to save because it is it's after midnight. I'll do this one. There we go. And there we go. That'll do. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. And as I mentioned previously, I am in a little place called Florida, and that means that we have a hurricane, Hurricane Ian, bearing down on us. So hopefully I will still be here Thursday night, but that is either shortly after or in the midst of when we expect the hurricane to be hitting us, and so there's a distinct possibility that we will be without power and or internet. If that's the case, I'll try and get through to everybody. I'll try and let you guys know on Facebook and in Discord. But failing that, check in, just in case. I might be here. Hopefully, I'm planning to be here to play Kingdom Come Deliverance. If not, then I'll see you guys Monday for more Code War 2. But hopefully everything goes as planned, and we're on schedule for Thursday. But we'll have to see. Otherwise, as always, thank you for joining me. If you do, again, like and appreciate what I'm doing, want to help me continue doing so, I always welcome you. I always welcome and greatly appreciate any donations, anything you can give on ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy, or just directly through my PayPal, which you'll find in the description as well. But otherwise, if you too are in the path of the hurricane, stay safe and, more importantly, have fun. Otherwise, I will see you hopefully on Thursday, and whether I see you on Thursday or not, I'll see you again on Monday, and then onward from there. So, thank you once again for joining me. Good night, everybody.